Tabletop Spotlight, brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Hey everyone, I'm AdamHarry from Bella Souls with
Michael from Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
And we're back with another Tabletop Spotlight. Michael, this is a huge box.
This is a huge box.
What's inside?
What's in the box?
It's a Feast of Odin.
It is a Feast for Odin.
Yes.
So this is a brand new release from Z-Man Games, and it's a very big box.
Yeah.
Brand new, Viking themed board game. All sorts of different component stuff. You can, play as Vikings. You pillage, hunt, farm, all sorts of crazy fun stuff.
Kind of like what we do on the weekend.
Yeah, basically that's my Saturday. Yeah. So very excited. Very big game and a very great value actually you'll find inside. So.
Okay. Well, I'm very curious. This looks like a big box full of stuff, and that's what we're here for. So let's take a look inside. A Feast for Odin. Well, here we have a Feast for Odin.
Oh yeah,
it's a big old box, man.
Yeah, I like the. I like the artwork on the front. Very, very Viking themed with the drinking horns and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. What else would you're not gonna use a cup?
You can see how big this box is. It's a big, hefty box.
It's got some heft.
Yep. So on the back, it basically breaks down for you right here. Big Viking box full of components and possibilities.
I like it.
You get to delve into the world. You get to hunt, raid, pillage, plunder, and of course raid some more. You build houses. You have a feast. You essentially get to be a Viking, which is always something that people want to do, I think.
Yeah, it's fun to cut loose for.
Yeah, you get to hang out, cut loose for a couple hundred years, raid a couple coastal cities.
Sure, why not?
Like you do.
Right, like I said, that's what we do on the weekends.
Yeah, exactly. That's my Saturday night.
Yep.
And we're gonna pop it open and see.
Pop in the box.
So as we said, there is a lot of components.
Wow.
In here. Yep.
All right, we've got some errata already.
There is a little errata they put in, just not too much, just a couple typos and stuff.
They wanted to clarify.
At least they put that in the box, I think, instead of releasing online and having people play incorrectly for months.
Who knows how long? Yeah.
So you have a lot of different types of meeples, some
Viking
brown ones, some people ones, some other resources.
Well, those are clearly for for all of your meeples.
There's all sorts of different cards and
there's actually
storage
two of
things
these.
like this. Oh yeah.
Wow.
A lot of components in this game.
Boom, check that out. All right.
So you have a lot of different card decks, all labeled with, A, B, and C here. So it says, do not open these yet. They have different things going on. Nice little harpoon there for that one.
Let's get the spear gun.
Our favorite thing
Bag
in the
of
world
bags.
comes with bags.
Thank you.
Bag full of them. Thank you, Z-Man Games.
It seems like a dumb thing, but it's so nice.
It's so helpful. So then, of course, you have a couple dice for different effects.
D12 and a
This
D8.
game is big enough that they need a scoreboard.
You gotta
keep track of.
Yeah.
Which reminds me a little bit of like Seven Wonders and stuff like that.
Okay.
Different things you can earn points for, how many ships you have, your immigrations, how many occupations, your final income, different things you get from different boards. So again, very complex game, but shouldn't take too long to play. The box actually only says it takes about 30-45 minutes to play.
Yeah.
So you have a two-part board here, if I can get it.
Open, says you.
So these are, of course, different things you can do to earn points. You can build houses, ships, hunt, go to market, buy products, craft, trade in the mountains.
There's a lot of stuff to do in this game.
It's what Vikings do.
Yeah.
So you can do all the things Vikings do.
Is it back? Something on the back too? No,
it is just nice little Viking logos on the back, but a lot of different ways to earn points and things like that. And then we got a couple rule books right here.
Appendix. Rule book, appendix, and what?
This is the rule book, this is the almanac to the game, and this is the appendix.
That's a lot of stuff to go through. Just being thorough.
Then, of course, we have all sorts of different boards for different areas, of course. Different things you can do on the boards, different results you get. All sorts of spaces and tokens and bits and pieces. So, again, very big, very complex game. And you have a big pack of tokens, and I'm actually just going to tip the box to get out. Because,
there's a lot of stuff in there.
It's a big old pack of tokens.
Whoa. That's where a lot of that weight came from.
Oh yeah, it's a big heavy box. There's of course different tokens. You have a cross token here, drinking horn, statues, axes. There's a lot going on in this game.
For sure.
As you can tell by the 3 rule books, the I would say probably 15 sheets of tokens, a bunch of other boards, and all these things you can do. So if you're looking for a big, detailed, awesome game,
this is it.
This is gonna be it.
Real quick too, let's flip through one of those rule books.
Sure.
Here we go. All right, here we have the rule book. This is,
Again,
of course, the one of three.
One of 3 books that comes with it. This is the core one. And basically it breaks down right here. There's a saga in the form of a board game.
All right.
So you get to relive being a Viking, all their achievements and mercantile stuff. You know, you can basically raid, explore, collect goods, and whoever has the possessions bearing the most value is the winner.
So this is just
This is a money
VP
collecting game.
Style,
basically.
yeah, okay.
Yep. And then, of course, it breaks down all your components. You have goods, dice, your action board, your home boards for your players, all sorts of other stuff, tiles, supply boards.
Whoa.
Every token in the world. Remember how I said a couple weeks back I love bringing big games, lots of tokens to you? Here we go.
Appreciate it.
Yep, overview tiles, buildings, boats, money, goods, every bit of food and equipment you can imagine. A lot of stuff going on. So again, for the big, like heavy gamers out there, I think this is gonna appeal right to you.
Yeah, yeah.
And you'll find a lot of fun things in here. So of course it has to have a setup for before your first game and how you get everything organized in the boxes,
which is important.
Yeah, you gotta make sure everything's organized in the goods boxes correctly. Then it has set up basically how you set up your boards, your special tiles, your occupations and weapons, your personal, player board.
Yeah, yeah.
All your ships, exploration, overview, and then how to play the game. Basically, it's a worker placement game.
Okay.
Each round you take your Vikings on the spaces of your action board and take the actions upon which they go. So it's really
just
simple
a worker
at its
placement,
core.
yeah.
It's a worker placement game.
There's just a lot of options
There's a lot of things you can do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So your basic goal is to cover the spaces in your home board with green and blue goods.
Okay.
So you can see here, these are your home boards basically pointed out earlier. You want to cover this so you have the most goods. That's basically it. To get them, you need to raid them, trade for them. You get income. You can get points for having all sorts of goods for ships. A lot of stuff going on, but again, at its core, a worker placement game.
All right, yeah, and it's interesting too because there's actually little bonuses on the board that you can grab if you get the correct items there too. So that's cool.
There's different phases as you play the game. It's 7 rounds, and there's 12 phases per round. So again, pretty complex in the rule book, but again, a lot of it's really simple. Basically,
I think once you start playing too, it's just gonna
basically the first phase is you take a Viking and put it with the other Vikings.
Oh,
that's the first phase.
That's really not
your second phase is you just get a certain amount of crop in the harvest. That's it. So there's a lot of phases. Phase 6 is you just determine who goes first. So you have 5 phases before anybody takes a turn.
All right.
Essentially, in the next round.
It's like a cleanup phase, just broken up into mini phases.
You get income, you get bonuses, you can feast, which I'm always partial to feasting.
Yeah.
I enjoy feasting quite a bit. You get other actions you can do at any point, different breakdowns of the rules for exploration and houses and stuff. So a lot of complex rules, of course, a lot of things to be aware of, and it'll probably take you a couple playthroughs to really grasp a lot of it, unless you're really familiar with big, expansive Euro-style games.
Right.
I think one of the guys brought over like Vinhost the other day. Reminds me a little bit of that.
Oh yeah.
So you get all sorts of you get all sorts of other crazy rules for hunting and pillaging.
So this is a pretty dense book, but again, once you start playing a couple rounds and just kind of get the flow down, you'll be good.
It seems complicated, but really all it is, you choose what you want to do and you read what happens.
Yeah.
And there is a solo game version.
Okay.
There's my favorite section here is if you run out of components. There's so many you'd think you wouldn't, but in case you do,
they've got you covered.
It tells you what you like. If you're out of houses, sorry, you can't build any more houses.
Okay.
So again, a lot of complex situational rules and things like that, but at its core, very simple worker placement, feast for Odin, Viking themed game.
Cool. Well, let's hop out for a really quick recap. So that was Feast of Odin. Let's crunch some numbers real quick.
Sure.
This is from Z-Man Games, of course.
It is Z-Man Games.
How many players are we talking again?
It says on the back here you can do 1 to 4 players. And again, even though there's a lot of stuff in there, and it seems like it's super complicated, should only take you about 30, 45 minutes to play.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
you'd think this is 14 and up. But
yeah, you'd think this would be a big, like, 2-3 hour game, but
no,
it is not. Your price point is going to be about $100 even.
Okay.
So a lot of components, a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Paying a pretty penny for it, but quite a bit in there. So yeah,
fair enough. Odin. And this is new game in stores now?
This is available right now, brand new.
Awesome. Well, go check it out. I'm AdamHarry from Bell Lost Souls.
I'm Michael from Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy.
And this has been another Tabletop Spotlight. Thanks for watching. Tabletop Spotlight brought to you by Dragon's Lair Comics and Fantasy. Thanks for watching.